Yeah, I think the first thing event companies need to know is that the rural market is much bigger than the urban market. So the opportunity is much bigger and it is untapped. And the second thing they need to know is that because the reach of electronic media or conventional media is very poor in rural India, it is really all about below the line. And all the agencies that I've assembled here, their core strength is below the line. And that is what rural India is all about. So they can really put their core strength to huge advantage. Whereas in urban, they are competing with ATL, which is above the line electronic media and other kinds of media. So it is a huge opportunity there. Event companies will really have to innovate. And the innovation really is going to be how do you use the existing social infrastructure that exists in rural India effectively. And by social infrastructure, I mean the microfinance groups, the ASHA health workers, the Anganwadi workers, the postman. There are a number of these social infrastructure which is already available in rural India. So if these event companies can tie up with that social infrastructure, the costs come down dramatically rather than take your van all the way from a city into a rural area. Right? Yeah, I think what we have to understand is that rural is not about the next quarter. Rural is about the next decade. And rural is not something that you flirt with. You have to marry rural, which means that you have to invest long term. Only then you will start getting returns. So I think that's the first role, is to educate marketers and clients that if you do a campaign today, you're not going to get results tomorrow. You look at companies like Levers and ITC. If they had not gone rural 30, 40 years back, today they would be half their size because half their business is coming from rural. Right? So therefore, rural will take time. But once you've established and set up the infrastructure, then you find that the growth will come much faster there for 2-3 reasons. One is the penetration levels are much lower. The income levels are rising much faster in rural India than in urban India. The aspirations are rising. So therefore, everything is now fallen into place for small towns in rural India. And these are the markets that are already growing faster in terms of economy, and therefore they will grow faster in terms of the markets and consumption. So the role of EEMA should be to grow the pie, the size of the market, the event market. Let me share with you how we've done this at RMAI. We promote rural marketing, but we don't promote individual agencies. And the way we promote is we conduct a lot of research studies, which we then share with industry. We conduct training programs for executives from companies. Okay. We run training programs and regular courses at a number of management schools, and sessions are taken by RMAI members. So we start sensitizing students from that age so that a little later when they come into the market, they already have some knowledge about the rural market. So this is what EEMA needs to do, is to conduct studies, to come out with white papers, what is the size of the market, how to grow the market, what should be the role of the industry, how to educate corporates to invest more in BTL and in events. Right? It's not just about advertising EEMA. I think it's about taking on a responsible role of promoting the cause of the event industry, growing the event industry, conducting research, exposing the corporates to what are the challenges in growing this market, and the pricing may have to be different when you look at small towns and rural vis-a-vis the big cities. So I think EEMA has to really take on some of these larger roles, and then it would become a truly representative body of the events industry.